All right. So welcome again. What was our last topic of discussion? I know we were still on the CorelDraw interface explanation, right? We're trying
Yeah,
to familiarize ourselves with the environment. Like I said, that is very important that you start from there as a new user. So just to recap, uh, within the next few minutes on some of those things we discussed, I said the CorelDRAW interface is broken into different parts, such as we started by identifying the very first part, which is called the application title bar. And we did say that the title bar consists of the name of your application, the architectural type, which is 64 bits, which I took us to how you can actually check your system architecture. And then we have the control buttons here, which I said they are also used to regulate the application environment. Then we have the tab section, the whole of this, where you have different menus with different commands. As you can see, if I open any one, you see different command coming out from them. And I told us that we should be seeing them as different containers holding different functions that can be used to solve challenges when you are designing. Then I also explained that we have the standard toolbar. So I want you to be looking at your notes once I get to the one I stopped. But if you can remember exactly the part I explained last, talk about the
yes.
standard toolbar. Which of the part did I explain last? Was it two bars? Is it two bar
No, I
or
think you're already done with standard two bars. Yes,
here, right? Here.
yes,
I've explained this, right? I said our next class will be looking at introduction to CorelDRAW tools, right?
yes.
Because if I'm done explaining the various components that forms CorelDRAW interface, then our next class should be we'll start learning the functions of these tools. So remember I said this is called color palette, right? I don't know
Color
if I
palette.
got there.
Yeah.
Okay. Where you can take color while designing. Okay. And then this is status bar. Did I mention anything like that? Status bar.
No,
Okay.
no,
That what about printable area? Did I mention anything like
no,
printable area? What
no,
about paste board? Did I mention anything like paste board?
no.
So which means that we have not ended the interface explanation. Maybe I stop at toolbar. So we need to complete it. Let's just quickly complete that topic. That topic is our CorelDRAW interface explanation. We were identifying different features that makes up CorelDRAW interface. So let me start from, I don't know if I have explained properties bar. Please confirm because these are very important to understand. Have
We
I?
stopped at standard two bar.
Okay, good. So this is the standard toolbar. So you can see we are still far. This is the standard toolbar, the whole of this. Okay, I remember when I was using all these grid to explain how you can use them to trace an object from your working environment. Okay, so we are to continue from properties bar. So you write properties bar, which is this section that comes immediately after the standard toolbar, the properties bar. So let me give you the definition first before I explain it practically. So what is the property bar? The property bar is an essential or important part in CorelDRAW. It is an essential or important part in CorelDRAW, which displays additional command once which displays additional command, once a tool is selected, which displays additional command once a tool is selected. Now, let me practicalize it, because that is what really matters. This is the section. So let me create an object, let's say an oval shape, and then if possible, I give it color from here. Now, I want you to put your eyes here as we move from 1 to right now where I am on pick 2. That is the reason why you are seeing all this feature. Now, originally, the work of the pick 2 is to activate the object, just to on the object so that you can give it a command, which is called object selection in this case. This was the tool I used, this ellipse tool, to create this cycle. So what the tool could do is just to give me this cycle. Every other thing I want to do, every other manipulation I want to do, does no longer concern this tool. The two basic function is just to give you this cycle. Now, if you want to change this cycle to this, it is now the additional property or function connected to the over tool that will do that. Look at it. I have been able to change that cycle to this shape. If I want to change it to an arc from here also, if I want to change it to a full cycle, I'll click here also. Now, what I am illustrating is that I used this tool, and this tool gave me what? This shape. Now, all these things that I'm touching, they are additional functions attached to the basic function of this tool. So that is why I gave you that definition, that the property bar, it is an essential part of CorelDraw that displays additional command about any what? Selected tool. So you are seeing all this because this tool was what? Selected. Now, I'm going to show you now. I'm going to move from this tool now. I am moving from this tool now. Let me click here. You see that the content have changed. Do you notice that? As I step out from, as I click on another tool called crop tool, those things you were seeing, they are no longer there. So if I click on the object now and select the crop tool, you can see it. Now, every tool, let me select another tool. If I click on the zoom tool, look at it. You can see that for every tool that you are clicking on, will be displaying their own what? Additional property. That is why, as a user of this program, anytime you select a tool, you should always check what are the additional functions that can be accessed outside the default one. You can see what came out now. I'm still going to demonstrate more of it. So now let me try another shape. This is a rectangular tool for creating rectangle. Let's say I want to design banner, and the banner needs a rectangular layout like this. And I pour color inside it. Now, what I want to do is that this tool has given me the square shape, but the edges are not curved. But what I want is that this place will curve. What I want is that this place will curve. That is what I want. This place will curve. Here we curve. Here we also what? Curve. That is what I want. But there is no single tool. There is no single tool that I will just click that will give me that round corners. So I have to understand that after I have used my rectangular tool to create the object, remember I said anytime you have created an object, always fall back to this for further modification. Now, I created this shape using this, but unfortunately, the shape it brought has sharp edges. The edges are not curved, but I need this shape to curve its edges. So how do I do that? In that case, you will now fall back to the additional information that displays on the property bar. Regarding, once you select that object, it means you have selected the two. Then you now go to the property bar as well. What did I say I want to do? I want to curve these edges. Now,
for the four corner edges.
the four corner edge, I want to curve them. Now, if I will ask myself, do I want to curve all of them at once, or I want to take it one after the other? Let me start with if I am to curve all of them at once before I show you how to curve the individual edge. Now, to curve all of them at once, look at this. There is a padlock here. This padlock says what? Edit corner all together. So once this padlock is on, if you click on, because these are the four corners, this one represents one corner, this place represents another corner, here represents another corner, here represents another corner. You have four corners, so you have them here. Now, if I click here now to increase, because right now they are set at 0. That's the reason why the edges are what? Sharp. So let's do as if I want to increase. Can you see it? As I'm touching here now, what do you notice? All the edges are curving at the same time, right? With the same size. With the same size, right? Now, this is one curving. Now, let me create another shape, another rectangle, and probably give it a color. Let me give it this color. Now, I want to curve only one side of this object, only here. What I will do is that you see this key, you click on it. Once you click, check now. It's as if you have opened it. Check the icon. Look at it. It's locked. Now, then if I click again, it's open. Now, if I click here now, only one side will be curving rather. Only one side will be curving because you have unlocked it. You have unlocked it. Now, if I want to curve here, I want to curve this side. So which means that here is responsible for curving this side. If I want to curve here, this is the one here, the down. So you take it diagonally to curve this side, which is opposite to this. You travel from here to this section. You use this one. Just watch what we have now. You can see it. So maybe my design layout, maybe part of my handbill or banner, there's a place where I want to highlight maybe a kind of special promo, and I want it to have a different layout. So I want to ask you, if I want to curve this edge, which section of this will handle that? I want to curve
The
this.
main one or the second one?
Is it from here?
From up.
Here, right?
Yes.
Good. If I want to curve this one, where will I get it? This side?
From this place.
Yes, from here. Good. So now, so maybe on my design, I want something like this. Maybe I'm designing and I want to write something like this. I can even duplicate it. Remember, how do I duplicate? Sometime after you have taken time to create one object, which must have stressed you, you want to replicate, you want to repeat that design somewhere else. You don't need to start afresh. Just click on it, go to Object, select Duplicate. Select Duplicate. Where is it? Sorry, go to Edit. No, remember we learned that. Go to Edit, select what? Duplicate. So you have automatically duplicated it. Maybe I want this one to be here, just to form a design that I want. So is that taken? Let me give you 10 minutes to achieve something like this also. So create that square using the rectangular tool, then go back to your pick tool, then come to this place and curve the corners for me. Quickly, you can start now. Share your screen. I hope you open your CorelDraw before you turn on your internet.
I've not opened it too.
That means you have to log out again. That is what you will have done before you before you open it, or you wait and practice later, because you are still going to go off like we did the other time. We now have
Mm-hmm.
to.
So what do I do? Do I leave it maybe after class?
Yes, just leave after class, you sit down with it, so that just be noting down your steps so that the video will not break again. All
So
right.
let me just put the steps. You say
Yes.
I should.
So the steps to achieve this design now, which I use in illustrating other properties of the rectangular tool. Let me delete it so that you can be writing the step as I'm doing it. So I said, click on the rectangular tool and then hold down the left button and drag to open it up. Click on the rectangular tool, hold down the left button and drag. Hold down the left button and drag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like I was saying, I said hold down, that is once you have selected this, you hold down the left button on your mouse and drag. Then after that, I gave it color, which is within your prerogative.
What did you
Like,
click there? You pick your tool.
yes, which of the two? No, I just click on the color now, the color I want to pour
This
inside.
one, this one, this one,
Yeah,
this.
which one? You have to describe it. You know, I can't say you. It's my screen.
Like up, that two on top.
Is it this one?
The first two, yeah.
No, 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 no. This one is my Zoom, uh, tools. It's not the CorelDraw. It's the one I use to do illustration if I want to illustrate something. So your attention shouldn't be on this. This is your tool. This is CorelDraw tool. So
That's
this,
what I'm saying.
uh,
After bringing that shape, do
mm,
you click back there to go and pick color?
yes, yes. I click on the, look at it. Let me just do it again so that you understand it. This is the first thing I did. I selected this rectangular tool, right? Then,
Mm-hmm.
and it's showing me this shape that I'm yet to implement the shape.
Showing that you hold something.
Good. So you now hold down the left button and drag just to open the shape up. Then after that, I wanted to give it color. Then I went to my color palette and select color. That is what I did. Is that clear to you now?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to curve the edges now, to curve the edges, that was where I talk about curving them together or curving them individually. So if you want to curve them together, you make sure that this padlock is this edit corner together. You click on it. Now it's
But sorry. After picking that color, that place you see color edge. Did they wrote it there? Color edges. No,
no, no, no, no. It's
that
just
place you
okay. No, no, no. It is
that
not.
place you want to.
It is here, but represented with this key. It's just for you to locate where you have this key. It is when you hover on it that you will see it. Once you step out, you won't see it. It's just for you to take note of it that this padlock represents a edit corner together. Is that taken?
So immediately I click on that rectangular this thing, all those features will come out.
Oh, exactly, exactly. Then from there, you not if you touch it, it means you have unlocked it. Okay. Have you written that step so that I can continue?
I'm coming. So once you pick the color, locate the padlock key on property bar.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you start using the corners here, all these increment icon. You start clicking on them, depending on. Right now the key is locked. That is why all of them are curving at the same time. Okay, it is because I have clicked on the key. I have locked it. That is why they are all curving at the same time. So if I've wanted them to curve individually, That was why I created another shape. Let me give it another color in order for it to stand out. Now, if I want just one edge to curve, if I want just one edge, not to cover all the edges, then I have to go back to the key and click on it to open. So once I ensure that the key is open, the next time I touch this place, it will be covering only one side. Is that taken now? To be covering only one side because the key is open. That is the only difference.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you want the edges to curve once, you don't open the key.
You open the key. Sorry. Yes, you don't open the key. You lock it. If I lock it now, all the edges
It's
are.
locked already.
Yes, I
It's
just lock.
locked already.
Yes, as soon as you step in, as soon as you select it, you see them. It's locked already. Then it is you that
So
will
where
now.
will you click for all of them to curve?
No, no, no. It's locked. Okay, this icon. Look at the icons here now. You
Mm-hmm.
continue clicking on this. If it's this side you want to work, you click here. This is
No,
where.
I said
Hmm,
if you want to curve the whole edges,
hmm.
you won't unlock the key.
Yes.
Where will you click for the whole edges to clock?
Here now, let me take it again. I've explained that. Let me take it again so that you understand. Look at it. The first is that you created the shape. Have you? And then you give it color.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now, the edges are not curved. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, if I touch here now, check here now, this key, is it lock or open? I'm asking you, is it lock or open?
It's locked.
Now, once you
It's
find out
locked.
that it's locked, now, if you start increasing here now, all the side will be curving. Look at where I'm clicking. I don't know if you can see this icon. This
Mm-hmm.
icon
Mm-hmm.
are called corner radius, corner radius, corner radius. Are you seeing them? One, two,
Yes.
three, four. Now those are the icon you'll be clicking on based on the side you want to curve. But since it is locked, that is why all the sides, anyone I click is affecting all equally because it is locked. But if I unlock it now, I have clicked on the key now and go back to those icon again. You can see that only one side that is curving. You can see the value that are reading. This one, two, three are not reading. It's only this top that is reading now. Look at it now. For you to know that that is the only one that is modifying. Did you understand it now?
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So remember that I am still explaining the tabs properties bar. I'm trying to qualify that statement that says it displays additional information about any selected tool. So I'm still going to, work with more of it, but I just wanted us to understand these basics, these basic rules for understanding how the properties bar work. Now, that is the whole of this section. So now let's quickly talk about the next section, the next part. So we are done with properties bar explanation. Like I said, we will still be using them when we start our redesign. Now, the next section I want to explain is the toolbars. I don't know if I've explained toolbars. Have I? It's like I've explained
Let me
toolbars.
pick something.
Hmm? I want to know if I've explained toolbars. Or are you busy?
No,
I have not, right?
no.
Okay, so right, this is the section I'm talking about where we have been picking the tools from all this while. It's called toolbars. So the toolbars contain all the CorelDraw working tools. Hope you are writing. The toolbars contain all the CorelDraw working tools. Contain all the CorelDraw working tools. Contain all the CorelDraw working tools. So you can see all this while we have been picking tools from here. This was where we picked this over tool. This was where we picked the rectangular tool. If you want to type now, this is where you pick the two. If I want to type, I'll pick this A2 and then click and type, let's say, Digitech Z. So you can see, anytime you want to type, there is a tool that you must activate before you type. So just know that the whole of this section is called the tool bar. That is where you can access your CorelDraw tools. So once I'm done with this topic now, that is the part I will start explaining each function. So I will start with the toolbars, start taking all these two one after the other, knowing their function and how you can actually use them in developing your creativity concept. Okay, so just know for now that this is like a container that houses all the CorelDraw what tools. Is that taken?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly identify another part, which is the color palette. So the whole of this part is called color palette, where you have series of colors. So how do we define it? You're right. The color palette, color palette the color palette constitutes solid colors. The color palette constitutes solid colors. So remember I explained in that class that in graphic design, there are three types of color.
It's constitute.
Yes, constitute solid color. Constitute solid color. Now, I want to explain the difference between texture or design color from when we say solid color. I explained something the other time that in graphic design, we have three colors that we work with. Every graphic designer or CorelDRAW user is expected to know about this color. This text now is filled with solid color. How do I know? Solid color is when an object or text is filled with one color all through. That is when you say it is solid color. It is when an object is filled with one color all through. When an object is filled with one color all through, that is solid color. That is solid color. That is solid color. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, I want you to look at the screen. What type of color have I given to this text now?
Yellow.
Yes, what
Solid
category of
color.
color does it fall into? Is it solid or design color?
It's solid
Good. How do you know that it's solid?
because it's one color.
Good, exactly. It's one color. Now, if I want to give it two color, look at what I will do. Now, the moment you change it from one color, let me change it to capital letter all through. To do that, I will go to text, then come to change case, and then I will select uppercase and click here. So I've just changed the whole text to what? Capital letter, just like the way we used to do it in Microsoft Word. Now, if I want to change the handwriting of the text, I will come here. I'll come here where I have different handwriting. This is graphic design. You have to use creative handwriting, those texts that have design. Now, I want to give this text two colors, and the color will form a design. So the next type of color we have in graphic design outside solid color is called gradient. It's called gradient. So let me write it so that you understand it. It's called gradient. It's called gradient color. So like I said, we have three types of color. This one is solid, while gradient is this one, but it's not yet gradient, but just to define what gradient color is before I manipulate it to gradient, right? Gradient color is when an object or text, I'm defining what is gradient color now in this field. Gradient color is when the object or text is filled with two or mixture of solid colors. Is filled with two or mixture of solid colors. So what we are simply saying is that if you create an object, let me have an object here so that you don't think that it is only text that we can give solid color or gradient color. So now this is solid color now because the entire object is filled with what? One color. This is also solid color, the same thing. This is solid color. Now I want to demonstrate the gradient now. I want you to pay attention. I want to make this one, I want to transform this from solid color fill to what? Gradient color fill. And what did I say gradient? It is when a text like this or an object like this is given more than one solid color. So how do I achieve that? There are so many logic you can use. The first logic is this. I want you to pay more attention. The first logic to give this text gradient. Now, what do I want to do? I want to give this text red and this yellow. The yellow will be on top and the red will be at the bottom. That is what we are trying to achieve. Let me use my annotation to explain it here. Please, I want you to pay more attention than writing for now. Now, you see, I want to divide this text. I want to divide it into two. From here down will be what? Red. While from here up we maintain that yellow. We maintain the yellow. So that is gradient because you are already missing two colors or more together. So let's see how we can achieve that. Let's see how we can achieve that. So in case you are writing your step, you write steps on how to fill an object with gradient color. Steps on how to fill an object with gradient color. Remember that for solid color, the steps are not much. You just to select the object and then click on the what? The color here. But for gradient, one, select the object. That's your first step. You click on it. If it is the shape I want to give gradient color, I will click on it. If it is the text, I will also click on it. That's your first step. Now, step two. Step two. Are you there? Okay. Now, step two is to, let me remove this so that you will not think that it's part of CorelDraw. Now, step two is for you to come to this bucket. Can you see? I don't know if you are seeing my cursor. There is a place that have a bucket icon that I'm navigating at. I want to confirm. Okay. Now, you double click on it. Once you double click on it, it will give you this dialog box. Okay?
Where did you double click? Is it on that yellow?
Yes, that's why I wanted you to know to see it. You see it now. I'm back now. Can you see it? Where you have
Yes.
a monitor icon. After it, you see a container that is, inclined somehow. So just double click on it. Once you double click, it will open a dialog box like this. Okay? Now, the next thing is for you to come to this place that says what? Fountain fill. Fountain fill. There are many options. Fill. If I click here now, I want you to check the text now. Can you see the design I've given to that text now? Because I select what? Fountain fill. Well, that is not what I am focusing on now. I'm still on the second type of color fill gradient. This one is when I come to pattern or design. But this is where we are now, fountain fill. So once I click on the fountain fill, it will bring out, it's already missing white. I want to make sure that you are paying good attention here. So it's already missing yellow and white, right? But remember what we plan to achieve. We want red to be at the bottom or one part of it. So what I will do is this. You see this icon, 1, 2. Are you seeing them? 1, 2. They are what control the color from both edge. So if I want to modify this edge color, I will just touch it. Once I touch it, what happened here? It brought out a color bucket. Okay, now this side that you click now, pick a color. So I'm picking what? Red. you see that the text color have improved. Did you see what happened now? Now, if I drag this here now, if I drag this will determine how much of it. Is it just maybe one letter you want it to affect, or you want it to affect, you want the red to touch, like, more characters. Now, if I double click, see what I did? I just double click anywhere to add more color bars because I want to fill it with another color. Double click on the bar to add more color bar. Now, why I added a more color bar, I want to define another color. In other words, the red will start from here and stop here. So from here to somewhere else, I want another color, let's say black. So what I will do is to just select this one, and then come back here and choose what? Black. So you can see what has happened now. I have added a touch of what? Black to that text. Now, why I added this one is to call another color. So I'll click on it, and then from here, I'll pick another color. So I'll pick color bucket from here. Why I pick the actual color from here. Did you get what I just explained now? I'll pick, look at it here. Look at it here. This section is different from this section. This is where you pick a bucket with a kind of unique color. Then this is where you pick the actual color. So if I want family of yellow, I'll click here to drop yellow before I pick. So I'm picking this, and I want to pick maybe one part of this, and then I exit. So you can see how I have, when I'm done, working on the test, I can work on the angle. Look at this. This is just like,
This second place you bring those black, where did you get it from?
let me click to remove them. This was what we had before, right? Just two of
Yes,
them. Two of them came by default. Now, the
yes.
intention is that you only want to add two color, but I said no. CorelDraw, I'm not adding only two color. I need another color bar. So what I did is that I move a little bit away from this, and then double click on that bar. So anywhere I double click, it will add another one. Are you getting the logic now? Now, I have how many color I can add now? How many color do you think I can add now?
4.
4. Good. If I want to add 5 color, what will I do? I will
You
double
still
click again.
double click at the
Now,
any
you just
space.
added the bar. Now, you now start clicking them one after the other to choose the color you want them to take. So this one is black. I'm out from that one. I'll select this one. I'll come back here and choose the color I want it to take. Let's say this. I'll leave there. Select this one. Choose the color you want it to take, and then you pick part of it. I think it's clear now, right?
Yes.
Now, when you are through, you click here. Now, I was talking about transparency. Once you click here, look at what happened. As you click here and drag, you can see that it's transparenting it from one side. But if I don't want transparency, I will just leave it as 0 so that I will see the full colors. Then after that, I'll click OK. So you can see the design here now. Now, I want to do it on objects so that you don't think that it's only text that you can give gradient color. So if I ask you now, does my definition align? Remember, I define gradient color as the mixture of what? 2 or more what? Solid
One
color.
or two more colors.
So it's
Yes.
correct, right? Okay, now let's try it on an object. Let's say you are working with a shape and you want to fill it with gradient color also. You are the one that will teach me now. Where do I go?
You go at the down part of the system where there is like monitor. Click on that
Here,
fountain.
I will double click, Abby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So where do I go from here?
It will bring you here. So
Then
when you get this place, the letters are very small. Oh.
here. I'll click on this as number
You
3. This 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah, you click now at number 3, fountain fill.
Then what do I do? I want to give it black and
Then
yellow. What will I do?
click on this. You can click on this. It will put black there.
Okay, so let me say this.
Then go down and pick your color.
Am I
Then if you
correct?
want more colors, yes.
See, I
You
want
if
to,
you want more color, you can put some icons so that you can fill them with colors.
so how do I put the icon?
You double click on top of, just shift from the other one, double click on top, double click on top.
Then I pick and
If you click on one, go down and open the colors, pick one color, it will enter there.
perfect. Okay, that means you get it. Since you are not able to do classwork, that's why I'm doing it so that at least I'm working. I just work for you now. That is what you will have done as your classwork. Okay. So that is for gradient color. So let me quickly talk about the last color because I said there are three colors you work with as a graphic designer. The last color is texture/design color. Texture/design color. Are you writing?
Hold
Texture.
on, I wanted to get number three.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So I was telling you about the last color because I said there are three colors we deal with in graphic design. The solid color, where you use just one color to occupy an object. The gradient color, where you mix two or more colors together, two or more solid colors together. Then the last one is texture. Texture, let me duplicate and use it to explain. Texture/design color. Texture/design color. Texture/what? Design color. Texture/what? Design color. Now, how do we define this type of color? Right. Texture/design color are creative colors. Are creative color or image color, just like you are using a picture to fill an object or text, or an image color. Exactly. Now, let's look at the steps on how to apply it. Just like I told you, you select the object or the text to be given texture color. That's your first step. Select the text or the object to be given texture color or design color. All right. So now, have you written that step? Select the
yeah,
text or the object to be given texture color. Okay. Now we can go that same way. That same way we can actually get it from there. So we double click on it. This time around, you are not going to fountain fill. You are going to what? This vector pattern fill, or
the fourth arrow.
yeah, the fourth one. In fact, anything from the fourth, the fifth, then the seventh. Okay, you can see it here now fully. Texture fill. Look at it here. This is it, texture fill. So what I'm saying is that 1, 2, 3, the fourth under what? Texture. You can use them. So let me start from here. So if I click here, you are still busy.
I want to get that something free. Okay.
Can I continue?
Yes.
Okay, so if I click here now, like I said, any of these are under texture fill. 1, 2, this one is not there. 1, 2. You can see the design already. This one that I have a kind of design.
Yes.
So if I click here now, look at what I have. Then you can now pick your texture color from here. You click on this drop down. You are expected to have different design under it. So it's just loading. So it just came up. So I can click here to see the different ones I want. So it's a bit slow. So I can also use the other one. So under it, you have some of the texture here. So you can see them. Once I click, so I can say, okay, I want to choose this one. That is one I am now. I can choose this one. So you say access what? Access
Locked.
to iLog, iStock. So all these ones that are okay. Let me see. It's the same color, but you can modify it. So that one is not accessible. Let me check this. Under this, I have this also. So I have sample. I think this sample is working. This one samples are working. So anyone you choose, you see it's what? Point on the object. So you can actually choose them. You can coordinate. Here they give you an opportunity to pick your color. You can see it now. That is for the first color. If you want to modify it, but the design is still there. I want to choose the second color. I can also come here. And then depending on how I want it, but the design is still there. You are only trying to change the color. So you can choose anyone. So anyone that brings out each feature, you can use it to fill your text. So this kind of fill, it is called texture fill. Why this one is, this is solid, just to round up this session before I go to the next part. The whole of this is what? Solid fill. Why this and this gradient fill? This is what? Texture. You can see some design. Though you are having two colors, but this one carries some design on it. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so let's quickly go to, remember what brought this is the color palette. So I've explained the CorelDraw color palettes, where you can pick color. Now remember I told us that if it is just solid color, you don't need to bother yourself with coming here to double click here. Hope you are still with me.
Yes. So it's the same procedure
Yeah, the same.
with gradient picking.
Yes,
It's
yes,
just you click on texture color.
yes, exactly. Same procedure. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this. So let's quickly identify another important part. Remember that we are concluding on CorelDraw features, CorelDraw interface feature, and at the same time we are, laying our hands on some tangible practicals that we can engage ourselves with. Now, the next part I want to talk about is this place. It's called printable area. It's called printable area. So right, printable area.
Which one?
Look at the place I'm navigating at.
How did you just you gone out to which like topic are we on now?
We are still on the CorelDRAW interface now. I just finished talking about color palettes. And we
Color.
have spoken
Okay.
about different color. Now we are here now. Printable area. Printable area. Printable
Okay.
area. Because I asked you this question before, you said we have not. That is why I have to come back. Printable area. So what is the printable area? The printable area is an aspect of CorelDRAW interface. It is an aspect of CorelDRAW interface. It is an aspect of CorelDRAW interface which define printable items. For office printer, which defines printable item, which defines printable item. So I would like to practicalize it so that you know what we are saying. So there's a reason why this shape is there. That is why each time you open CorelDRAW, you always meet this shape there. The reason is that it's there to guide you. If you create any object now, for example, and I want to pick from any of the colors I've used. You see, one sensitivity aspect of CorelDRAW is that any color you have used so far, all of them will be what? Pile up here. So in case you want to reuse them, that is to guide you on color combination. So you know that, okay, these are the color I am using. So I can just come here and pick it. Now, let's see, as if we want to print this object. You can see that it's not within the printable area. It is outside the printable area. So if I do as if I want to print it, I go to File and I select Print Preview. You will see what will happen now. You can see that you are not able to capture the whole of it because it's not in the printable area. So when you are printing, CorelDraw only recognize what is within the printable area. That is if you are using normal A4 office printer. But if you are using plotter machine, like this one, graphic, what's it called, printing press use, this one they use in printing a large format, it's called plotting machine. Now, they have their own setting. The machine driver will give them an interface to set it. But we are talking about office normal printing. So I'll click here to go back. So if I carry this and put it inside now, put everything inside the printable area, then I go back to File, then I select what? Print Preview. You will notice that what? You will now be able to see it. So that's why we are saying that this is your printable area. Any design done outside it cannot be accessed by the printer. Okay, so if you are designing now, your major design layers should be inside here. Then you can design other components and be assembling them here. That is what we are saying. Exactly, ma.
Okay, any design you want to be print must be done inside this
No,
shape.
no.
Anything designed outside it cannot be printed.
Now, yes, but let me just adjust that statement a little so that it does not show that any design must be done here. Now, if I want to design like handbill now, if I want to design handbill, I'll come to this rectangular to and cover the whole of this place. My first background will be here. Now, if I want to type text that I want to place on this, it's not compulsory that I must type it here. I will type it outside. Let's say what? Digitech. Let's say Digitech. So you can see that I type the text outside here. Why? Because I'm here to perfect it before I bring it here. So I'll say, okay, I want to bold it. I want to give it a certain color. And then after that, I will carry it and bring it and put it on top here.
So if you are doing it there, you can adjust it.
You can adjust it, but it's not professional because you might mistakenly touch other things, arrangement. That is why they say that you should perfect your design outside and then bring it what in here. So if you bring it here now, you zoom, you click on it, you can adjust it here as you like. If you are a professional, you can even do some of your adjustments right inside. But at the stage of learning, you are advised after you have added the first layer, do other component design outside. When you have arrived at a certain conclusion, you can bring them in for just minor adjustments while you are in here. Exactly. So for example, now I want to bring a logo. If I click here now and open this, and I give it a color, and then I go to my object and convert it to curve, then go to my shaping tool, and then let's say I move this thing here like this. Then you can see that all this adjustment I did now, if I am not perfect, if I try to do them here, I may end up disorganizing some of my arrangements. So I would work on it to an extent here that, okay, even if I bring it here, it will just require minor adjustment, which is just maybe just reducing the size or just maybe changing the angle of it. You see what I did now? I use a logic to duplicate it. Look at it, what I did. I move it here. I'm moving it here. I reduce it here. And then here, I click on this one and then move it as if I want to create another one. Then I right click to duplicate it. So I can give this one, maybe this is a logo. So I will highlight both of them, reduce them at the same time, then maybe bring it here. So what I did now is that, but when I created the cycle, I did all those shaping before I brought it here. So you are not supposed to do major adjustments while the object is
So what
in.
I'm understanding from what you are saying now If you open this CorelDraw, there is a shape by default.
Good.
So whatever you're working, you have to invite another shape inside
Good.
that default one so that you can
Yeah.
be able to print it out when you're done.
So I can give it color. So I can give it background color. Because if I click here now,
Yes,
and click on color now, it won't go.
it will go.
That is why I'm using
Okay,
that shape to frame it so that I can put the color inside the shape.
okay,
Exactly.
yes,
Okay. So that is the printable area. So let's look at another section. Now, any other space outside the printable area, let me take this design out. Once you subtract this from this whole space, any other space is called pasteboard. It's called pasteboard. Pasteboard. Any other space is called pasteboard. And what is the pasteboard meant for? The pasteboard is your rough working environment. That is where you are supposed to perfect your design. You saw how I created a cycle and then I converted it to curve. And then I used my shaping tool before I could arrive at this particular icon here or this particular logo. So every other space where you do for example, now I can just click here instead of me typing inside here. I will just click here and type maybe class or classes. So I can just go to text just to change the KC to capital letter. Now, I will from here give it color white, and then before I carry it and bring it here. So you can see that I typed it outside, which is on the pasteboard. After that, then I brought it to my design layout. So just know that the pasteboard is for your rough working. Any work you want to do before you perfect it, you do it on the pasteboard, just like your rough board, your rough sketching board, where you can be doing your rough sketching. Once you have gotten what you needed, you can bring it here. Exactly. Am I communicating?
yes,
Okay, so the last one I'm going to take is this section. This is the last section, so that we know that tomorrow morning class will be on these tools. So I will just focus on the functions of the tools. So tomorrow morning class, I will just focus on the functions of the tools. I will play around with the tools, show us their function, what you can do, and also develop some creativity. But to round up this section, let's look at the last part of CorelDraw window, which is the status bar. The whole of this place where we were double clicking on this icon for color filling down to where you have, the name of the layer is called the status bar, the status bar. So how do we define it? I want you to pay attention here. If I create a shape now and I give it color, and I want to know what is the name of this shape, you get it from the status bar. What is it currently telling us that is this shape? Ellipse on what? Layer. Now let me create a rectangle. Pay attention. Let me create a rectangle and check the status bar now. What is it saying? Rectangle on what? Layer.
rectangle
So
on
anytime you draw a shape, if I
layer
come
one.
here now and do a shape and draw a shape like this, let's say tomorrow you understand some of these things. I'm just using a tool for now so that you know. If you click here now, what is it telling you? Curve what? On layer.
Curve on layer.
Good. Now, the role of the status bar is to be giving you information about your shape or the text. Any object you click on, the status bar will update you information about it. What is it telling us now? That we are using what? Artistic what? Text that has what? Bold as effect. Okay? On layer one. Then the inside color of that text is yellow. The line color, it does not have line color. So if I increase it now, you will agree with me that this object does not have line color. So if I want to, what is line color? Line color is the outline, the edge. There's no other color. So if you double click, this is the icon that represents giving line color, just like the way this one represents giving what? Inside color. So if I double click here now, remember that we double click on this one the other time, right? To give the object inside color. If I want to give the object outline color, I will double click here. It's telling me that what? The width is none. So I'll start by increasing the width, and then I'll choose a color. Let's say this color, and then click. So once I click, you can see that I have added what? Line color. And now you can see that there is a color displaying. Then this one is for inside. If I want to change the color inside, which is the one we have done before, so I will just come here and choose this, and then choose the color I want. Okay, I'll choose the color I want here. Choose the color I want. That is for the inside color. That is for the inside. But for the outline, you come here. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to show you that there are actually different information you can get on the status bar regarding the objects selected. If I click on this object now, it's telling me that the inside color of that object is this, and the line color is this. So if I want to change the inside color, that is when I will now double click here, which means that I want to change the inside color. Okay? Just like what we did now. Then I will now click. But if I want to change the line color, I will double click here, and then I will come here and choose the line color I want to use. So you can see that if I zoom it, I have. So this is where I'm going to stop. By tomorrow, by the grace of God, I will continue, write the topic down so that when I ask tomorrow morning, you tell me where we stop. Tomorrow we shall be looking at. So we just concluded CorelDraw interface, features, identification, and explanation, right? So that topic have just been concluded officially. Now, tomorrow morning, we shall be looking at CorelDraw working tools. Write it down, CorelDraw working tools. We are going to start explaining the functions of these tools. CorelDraw working tools. That will be our focus tomorrow morning.
All right.
Question? All right. So have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.